All right, so we have this problem. We plugged in 7 for x. What's the very first thing I have to move? The -7. It's on the outside. So I have square root of 2k squared plus 17 equals 7. What's the next thing to get rid of? The square root. How? By squaring both sides. When I square a square root, all that's left is what's inside. Then I'm going to subtract 17 from both sides, so 2k squared equals 32. Divide by 2. So right now I have k squared equals 16. So let's look at that. I saw that on some papers. K squared equals 16. There's two ways to think about it. You either know what it means to take a square root, or you know what it means to square something. When I square something, I am taking two numbers and equaling it to the 16. Since I am physically drawing the square root, drawing it with my pencil, there are two choices. What number can give me 16? What do you know is the square root of 16? 4 times 4. There are two numbers exactly the same that give me 16. What else? A -4 times a -4. So when I physically draw a square root, in order to cancel out a quadratic, doing the opposite of what we learned, I don't just have a positive number, I also have a negative number. So k equals a positive and a -4. How do I know which one is the answer I wanted? Do I want an answer of +4? Do I want an answer of -4? K had to be greater than 0. So my final answer is k is +4. What if I said k had to be less than 0? What would your answer have been? -4. If you do not have this step, you will probably get about 5 points taken off, because you have to understand that when I physically draw a square root, I am getting a plus and a minus, okay? So if I give you x squared equals 36, if I physically take the square root, what does x equal? +6, what else could it equal? And -6. Positive and a -6. If you draw a square root with your pencil, you have to have the plus and the minus. It's going to make a big difference in topic 4. Okay? Questions so far? Okay, we are going to do one problem today. That is a level 3 problem. So from your notes yesterday, or wherever you take your notes, we are going to continue. This is still Unit 8. It's still topic 3, but it is a level 3 problem. And you're going to need at least half a page, so make sure you have room. Okay? So my problem I'm going to use will say the square root of 5 minus 4x equals x. 5 minus 4x equals x. Mr. Martinez, start writing down, please. Do I have anything on the outside to get rid of? So what's the first thing I have to get rid of? The square root. So to get rid of my square root, I will square both sides. When I square a square root, all that's left is what's inside, 5 minus 4x. What does it equal? What's on the right side? X squared. I want to get everything on the same side as my x squared. So if I have a positive 5, I want to subtract 5. And if I have a negative 4x, I want to add 4x. I'm just doing it in one step instead of two. It doesn't matter. So I have 0 equals x squared. Which one has to come first, the negative 5 or the positive 4x? Positive 4x minus 5. Well, this looks familiar. X squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. What can I make to solve this? An eye chart. Very good. So I'm going to make an eye chart. Doesn't have to be big. What number's at the top of my eye chart? Negative 5. And what's at the bottom? Positive 4. What's the only thing that can give me 5? 1 and 5. How will I get a positive 4? Minus 1. Very good. So when I write it, I'm going to have x minus 1 times x plus 5 equals 0. Since it equals 0, what do I need to do to both of these parentheses? No, we're not going backwards. You have to equal them both to 0. Very good. So x minus 1 equals 0. And x plus 5 equals 0. Since I have a minus 1, if I add it to both sides, x equals 1. Do not box it. You have to check your work. And since I have an x plus 5, if I subtract 5 to both sides, x equals negative 5. So we need to check our work. Since we have two x's, we're going to need 2 different check stations. My first one has to be for the number 1. My second one has to be for my negative 5. Using my original equation, square root of 5 minus 4 times x. What am I going to put in there? A 1 equals x. You have to use the same x, so it has to equal the same number. So I have square root of 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is just 1. And the square root of 1 is 1. Is that what I started with? So is this true or false? This is true. Since it's true, I'll put it in a box. It's a good answer. Let's go check the second one. Same exact equation, square root of 5 minus 4, but this time my x is a negative 5. And it's equal to the same x. So I have square root of 5. Negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20. So I have the square root of 25. What is the square root of 25? Is 5. Is positive 5 what I was looking for? So is this true or false? Okay. So listen Listen to my questions because I can ask you different questions. The first question I can ask you is, what is my solution? So what was the solution to this problem? X equals 1, okay? Because the solution is my true answer. What if I asked you what's the extraneous solution? What would you tell me the extraneous solution was? X equals -5. You hear the word extra? That means that this is the false solution. That's the false solution, okay? I could ask you either one of these questions, so you need to make sure you're paying attention to the question and asking, am I looking for the solution or am I looking for the false solution or the extraneous? I do not like the questions that are on that worksheet, so I'm going to put 4 problems on this paper for you, and I want you to do these 4 problems. Let me write down this last one real quick. Okay. The answers are on here. We did the first one together. The answers are on here, except for number 5. I'll get those answers. I want you to do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what you're doing today. This is not in class kit, so you just need to do it on paper. It is not in class kit. Just a second. These are the answers on the side. That way you can check your work. We did number 1 together. You should be doing 2, 3, 4, and 5. Your quiz is on Monday, so make sure you're working on this, please.